Today, we're going to take a look at what would happen if United were to sign three players that they have been linked with at some point recently, one admittedly far more likely than the other two, and we're going to be doing this by signing them on Football Manager, using the in-game editor and simulating through a season to see how United get on. The three players I'll be looking at today are Jadon Sancho, Erling Haaland and Saul. I'll give each player an individual season, and then I'll put in all three at the same time and see how it goes. Now, before we get into it, if you'd like to see me do this with your team, make sure to comment down below who you support and who your dream signings are. I'll be back with weekly videos, so I'm sure I'll get around to your team eventually. Now, on with the video. To start with, we're going to look at the midfield option of Saul Niguez, currently playing for Atletico Madrid and rumoured to cost around £70 million. Playing a more defensive role on the team than the other two players, we should expect to see United conceding less this season than in the other two. So let's skip forward a season and see how they get on. So here we are a year later, and as we can see, United have finished second in the league, only behind City. They've got 86 points, City on 93. Unfortunately, couldn't be topped there. But if we look at the table, let's see how many goals were conceded. United conceded only 23 goals, so it's actually the best defensive team in the league. I can only imagine that Saul contributed to that. We'll see in the future seasons with Sancho and Haaland if they manage to keep out that many goals, or if they end up conceding more. I suspect they will. So that's a very strong performance there in the league. Not quite winning it, but I don't think we're expecting them to do that with only Saul anyway. So let's just take a look now at how they got on in the other competitions. And we start with the Europa League, in which we see a very poor performance here from United, going out in the second knockout round to Bayer Leverkusen, not the strongest of teams. United would be hoping to do better in Europe than that. Let's see how they did domestically. Maybe they got on a little bit better with the FA Cup, and it's a quarter-final exit to City. A respectable team to go out to, but quarterfinals maybe a little bit early for United. I guess City did win the league, so not the worst result ever. And the Carabao Cup, it's a final, but a loss to Tottenham, as no silverware this season for United. And yeah, that's maybe not the best result, but a second in the Premier League and a Carabao Cup final, nothing to be sniffed at. And let's take a look at how Saul got on himself. Let's take a look at his stats. So as we can see here, Sal's had an okay season, I think, across the board. He's got some varying ratings in the competitions. As we can see, Europa League, his worst competition actually out of all of them, as he picks up 0 goals and 1 assist with a 6.97 average rating, which may have something to do with why we saw United underperforming in the Europa League. The Premier League, he's got on 3 goals and 9 assists. Very decent, very decent performance actually for a player who's probably playing a little bit deeper on the pitch than most others. So 4 player of the matches as well. Very good in the Premier League for him, even better in the FA Cup, 7.30. Unfortunately, United not managing to make it past City, but it looks like he had some very good games. And in the Carabao Cup, where they made it to the final, he played exceptionally well. 7.52 average rating across the board. 4 assists in 4 games. Very strong performance for him there. As Saul looks to have made a decent impact in his first season. Obviously not groundbreaking, but I don't think we'd expect that from him. Sort of player that's going to come in and steady up the team, which is looking like it's what he's done with the amount of goals conceded for them across the season. So I think overall we can say it's probably a success for Saul. I'll pop his stats up on the screen and his finishes now, and we'll compare them all after we're done with them all. So yeah, I think that's a decent season for Saul there. We can be happy with that. Let's go and take a look now at how Haaland gets on. Now then, we are at the end of Haaland's season at United here, a man who is currently in real life playing for Borussia Dortmund and estimated to have a buyout clause of around £70 million. So let's see how United have gotten on with him at the top of their team. And I'm sure you can see here immediately that as we are unemployed, we're letting Ole take control here. The United job is available, so I don't suspect it's gone exactly to plan here. Let's take a look. So United have ended the league in 6th, so they've gone, wow, that is really poor. So 66 points, 19 wins, 9 draws, 10 losses. Very poor there from United, struggling against a whole host of teams actually, not even just the big teams. They lost to a lot of the big teams. Arsenal doing the double over them. Actually, the only team to do the double over them there, it looks like. Oh, Liverpool as well. So yeah, losing out to a lot of teams there. Poor performance. We'll just take a quick look at the other competitions. I'm assuming probably not gone as well this year as it did with Saul, and then we'll take a look at why that might have happened. We'll see what they've done with Haaland as we go and take a look over at their competitions now. And so, taking a look at this, it looks like United have done a lot better in Europe this year, actually, making it to the semi-final. Once again, though, getting stopped by Bayer Leverkusen, appearing to be a bit of a bogey team here for United in our saves. And that's a much better performance than we had with Saul. So let's take a look at the FA Cup and see if that's any better. Actually, no, it's not. It's a 5th round exit to Chelsea on penalties as well. So Yeah, not performing well domestically here. And let's see the Carabao Cup. It's third round to Burnley. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. So yeah, a very poor domestic year for United. Not doing so badly in Europa League, but yeah, not performing up to the standards. Let's go and take a look then at what they did with Haaland, how they deployed him, to see what exactly went wrong here. So it may have just become clear to me as to why United have had such a poor performance this year, as they decide to only deploy Haaland in 26 Premier League games, 5 in Europe, 1 in FA Cup. I can only wonder if he was injured. We'll have a check on that in just a second, but let's have a look at the stats in the games he did play. As to be expected, he's performed extremely well. A 7.45, a 7.52, and an 8.1. Only one game, but still excellent performances across the board here. 15 goals and 4 assists in the league over 26 games. That is just, I mean, it's superb. If he was playing the entire season, you've got to imagine they'd have done better. And it only could have really been an injury that has stopped him here. As with that sort of form, they aren't going to be dropping him. So we'll take a look and see if he's been injured here, and maybe that will explain as to what's gone on. And yeah, as we suspected, it was a major injury here for Haaland as he tore his calf muscle, saw 3 months out for the season, missed the end of the season, it would appear. And yeah, United obviously struggling at that point. A real shame for the simulation, but hey, it happens. It's how it goes. Let's now go and take a look at the main man. The most realistic signing of the bunch, estimated to cost around a whopping £110 million, Jadon Sancho. So once again, I'll see you at the end of his season, and yeah, we'll have a look at how he gets on. Okay, so here we are, and it's a much better performance in the league this year as opposed to with Haaland, as United get themselves to third, and they're on 79 points, only 7 points behind the season with Saul, so not bad at all. And that is, yeah, in fact, the season with Saul, they would have won the league if that was this year. So, yeah, that just goes to show how strong that season was. And yeah, that's not a bad performance in the league. Coming third behind Liverpool and City, pretty respectable. So let's go and see how they did in the other competitions and see if it was a bit better across the board. Okay, so it's another good performance in Europe by United, losing to Espanyol this time in the semi-final. Still not able to get to that final and win the tournament, but yeah, a semi-final not so bad this time round. Let's go and have a look at domestic, see what they did. So the FA Cup, it was a loss to Liverpool in the quarter-final, the same as the first season with Saul. Unfortunate there, but yeah, losing to a good team, not so bad. And the Carabao Cup, it's a quarter-final loss to Crystal Palace. So, yeah, maybe a better performance across the board. I'm not too sure. We'll have a look at all three of the players' stats together in just a second. But before we do that, we'll go and have a look at Sancho's individual performance and see how he's got on. Well, there you go. It looks like it's been a decent season for Sancho as he gets a 6.98 in the Europa League with 6 appearances, 0 goals, 0 assists. Not playing too much of a part in that competition, but the Premier League is where he's shone, and he's gotten 30 appearances, 2 subs, and yeah, 5 goals, 8 assists. Pretty good performance there for him. Not again, not groundbreaking, but it is only his first season, and yeah, on his own in that attack, really, not much else there to support him other than Martial Rashford. Yeah, he's done all right. He's done all right. FA Cup, 1 goal, 1 assist, 3 appearances, and the Carabao Cup obviously not being used. United choosing to rest him in that competition. But yeah, overall, I would say that's a pretty decent season. Nothing, it's not breaking any records, but it's doing what he needs to do, and coming in and settling United with that attacking force that he gives, playing on the left and the right hand side. So yeah, a good season from him. So let's now take a look and compare all three of the players' stats before we jump into the final season, where we'll just chuck all three in and see how United get on. Looking at these stats, I don't think there's too much to really draw from it. All the seasons are quite even, especially considering Haaland had his injury. I think without that injury, we would have seen him go on to score a lot more goals and probably get some more assists as well. And I would imagine see United perform better in all the competitions. Sancho and Saul, it's pretty even between the two. Saul probably picking up the better contribution record, especially considering he's playing from deeper in the midfield. I would give Saul it. I would give it to Saul, given they've got to a League Cup final and second in the league as well with 86 points. I think the best season there is Saul's season. So let's go ahead and chuck them all in together, see how they get on, and yeah, let's just have some fun with it now. Here we are then. It's the final season with all three players at the club, and as you can see, United have somehow managed to finish in fourth. Now, I'm not sure how this has happened, but yeah, okay. So it looks like City and Liverpool have had absolutely crazy seasons. United finishing on 75 points. I guess that's not actually the worst points total out of the lot. Um, But yeah, that's a really poor finish considering the players they've got. So let's go and have a look at the other competitions and see how United have gotten on there. Maybe it's been a little bit better than the league. And it does appear to be so, as United have made their first Europa League final. Unfortunately, though, they've lost it to Lazio, so unable to get that European glory, losing 1-0 in the final. Let's go and have a quick look at what's happened here. Jadon Sancho off in the 50th minute, not really done anything. Haaland starting, so all three of the players have started that game, and United unable just to make that lasting impact to win the Europa League final. But yeah, that's really unfortunate for them. Let's have a look domestically and see how they've gotten on. So FA Cup, it's semi-final. So once again, better progress. I lost to Man City. So yeah, not so bad in the FA Cup this year. Semi-final exit, a little bit more respectable than we have in the past. The three players coming in, obviously making a bit of an impact there. And in the Carabao Cup, it's a loss to Wolves in the fourth round. So yeah, not much improvement in the Carabao Cup. The best season actually coming with only Saul. So yeah, that's unfortunate for them there. The performances in those competitions a little bit lacking, to be honest. A Europa League final, I think they'll be happy with that, but yeah, not good enough in the Premier League for sure. That is disappointing. That is disappointing. Let's have a look at the players and see how they've all got on then, and see maybe why United haven't been so successful here. So looking at the overall charts here, it looks like Jadon Sancho's played quite a few games here. He played 48 with 6 sub appearances. That's 11 goals and 10 assists. I believe those stats are just for the Prem though. So Saul, yeah, not playing just about as many games actually, with 11 goals and 15 assists. Those are brilliant stats actually for the position he's playing. Those are really really good stats. And Haaland not actually firing as hard as he did in the season where he got injured almost. 21 goals and 6 assists. A very high average rating though, the highest average rating in the entire team. I'm not sure how, considering he's not got as good a stats as the other two, I would say, based on his position anyway. Saul with 11 goals and 15 assists, I would probably rate higher than Haaland having 21 goals and 6 assists. But we'll have a look at their other performances in the other competitions and see maybe why those ratings are as they are. So starting off with Haaland, he's gone and gotten himself 10 Europa League goals and a 7.96 average rating. That is superb from him. Really, really good performance. And maybe it's another injury for Haaland. Maybe that's what's happened here, as he's only played 26 league games, or maybe he's just not favoured. Maybe he's just not favoured. I can't see that being the case, so we'll have a check on the injury as well briefly just after this. FA Cup 2 games, and yeah, no games in the Carabao Cup, unsurprisingly. So let's just have a quick check on if he's had an injury here. No major injuries at all. So it seems like for some reason United's not favouring Haaland in the Premier League. Possibly might have something to do with why they've not won it. Ole at the wheel, not not making the best managerial decisions apparently. Let's go and take a look at Sancho and see how he got on in his individual stats. Sancho, much like Haaland, has performed in the Europa League very well, actually. A 7.56 average rating, 2 goals and 4 assists across 11 games. Not bad at all. Premier League, 33 games, 8 goals, 6 assists. Probably better than his stats beforehand, I would say. Just about better than his stats when he played on his own, which you would expect when he's got Haaland next to him. For 26 of those games anyway, you would assume, and Saul in behind. So yeah, okay stats for Sancho across the board. Not really as good as I was expecting, but yeah, very solid, very solid. And let's take a look at Saul then and see finally how he got on individually. Yeah, so just as I expected, very, very impressive across the board, to be honest, from Saul. 4 goals, 4 assists in the Europa League, 7.17 average rating, very strong at over 11 appearances. 32 appearances in the Premier League, 7 goals, 9 assists, 7.18 average rating. Super impressive contributions there for a man playing in the position that he is, which I would imagine I can't actually check because we're not fully managing the team. It's simulated, so we can't actually officially check. But I would imagine he's playing in the midfield somewhere in behind Bruno Fernandes and Pogba. So yeah, very very impressive from Saul, all things considered. So I guess in conclusion we can say that United should definitely be signing Saul, potentially be signing Sancho, and probably avoiding Haaland, but that's only because Ole doesn't like to play him. So yeah, I think this has been an interesting experiment. Um, United may not want to take their advice from Football Manager, but if they do, I think this has been informative. If there's anything else you'd like me to take a look at in this save, make sure to comment down below and maybe we can do a follow-up. Potentially simulate the save of all three a few more years and see how it develops. But yeah, thanks very much for watching. Like I said at the start, I'll be back with weekly uploads looking at some more fun experiments at FM. So let me know if you want me to do this to your team and who you would want them to sign. Make sure to check me out on Twitch as well. I stream plenty of Football Manager over there. You can find the link in the description, twitch.tv/Cronyo. And if you enjoyed this, then be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I will catch you next time.